Welcome to page 8 in your linear equations packet. For this lesson, we're going to be discussing positive slope and how to write an equation for a line of solutions. Take a look at the 4 coordinate planes that you've been given. If you look at the graph of each one of those lines, you will notice, moving your eyes from left to right on the coordinate plane, you will notice that each one of these lines slopes upward or uphill. It's our job to determine what that positive slope is, then find the y-intercepts, and finally write an equation for each line that you've been given. Well, let's start with our b value or our y-intercepts. That's where the given line crosses the y-axis. So I'm going to highlight each y-axis in green. In the first graph, you can see that our y-intercept is positive 3. So our b value is positive 3. In the second graph, this is a proportional equation. Our b value or our intercept is 0. In our third, our b value or our y-intercept is negative 5. And finally, in our fourth graph, our y-intercept is positive 2. Well, that takes care of the intercept for each of these. But what about the slope, our m value, or our delta y over delta x value? Well, in our first case, we start with the point furthest to the left. As we rise up 2 units, we run 1 unit. And we continue to check that rate of change. Up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, etc. So our slope is 2 over 1, which is 2. Now we have enough information to write the equation. Remember, it's mx slope times x plus or minus b equals y. So what do we get? Well, 2 is our slope. 2 times x plus an intercept of 3 equals y. Now let's try another. Let's take a look at the slope for number 2. Remember, we need to find the change in y over the change in x. Place your pencil point on the point furthest to the left on the given line of solutions. In this case, we rise up 1 to the right 1. So up positive 1 to the right positive 1. Up 1 over 1, up 1 over 1. As we continue to check the change in y over the change in x. As we simplify, we know our slope is 1. So when we go to write the equation for this particular line, we know it's 1 times x plus 0 as our intercept equals y, which I suppose we could just simply write as 1x equals y. It is a proportional relationship. Now let's take a look at number 3, where our intercept is here at a negative 5. Let's check our slope. We're going to connect these 2 consecutive points and write down our delta y, change in y, over our change in x. In this case, we go up positive 2 over positive 1. Up 2 over 1, up 2 over 1, and the rate of change is consistent. 2 over 1 gives us an m of 2. So we know when we write our equation mx plus b equals y, it should be 2x. Now your intercept is minus 5 equals y. Complete the last one on your own and check your work against the answer key when you're done.